Good early afternoon, everyone. My name is MacKenzie Wilson, your host over here at the Alberta Landlord community. It's a unusual time. We're having Shop Talk, special edition at 4 o'clock today. As you probably already know why, there's a big game on tonight, and I would be absolutely remiss if I did not do a discussion around the economic benefits of a Battle of Alberta, the first time in over 31 years since 1991, the Smith playoff series, division playoff series. It's going to be fantastic. So I might be a little biased what side I'm cheering for, but hey, born and raised Calgarian, hockey fan, played hockey my entire life growing up. I have to talk about this. This is fun. This is really cool. Besides which side you're cheering for, whether it be the Edmonton Oilers or the Calgary Flames, there is a lot to look at the series from your business of being a landlord with your rental properties. I would probably say with one of the biggest demographics that are renters are probably the folks that work in the service industry. And we'll see an absolute massive uplift from the restaurants and the bars that will be probably filling every possible seat as folks tune in to watch this series. And hopefully, well, at least to another third round as well. So really, we've got the benefit of 3 playoff rounds that will directly impact the Alberta market. We got the Calgary and Edmonton markets in round 2, and then one of these teams will go on to round 3 and have another round of impact. And this is absolutely huge. It's really good for the province. And so I'll dive into those numbers a little bit and why I think it's so important. I'm going to do a sneak preview for a market update we're doing coming up here in June. I'm going to recruit the wisdom and the expertise of Brett Turner over at Redline Real Estate, as well as our news partner, Alberta on Fire. They're out of Edmonton. I'm not sure who I'm getting there from there yet, but I'll get one of their brokers as well. We'll jump into a live stream, and I really want to do a recap of where we've been from year to date, from January, talking macroeconomics down to the local areas with housing prices, days on market, what their rents are, vacancy rates right now. I don't know about you guys, but I'm seeing rents going up everywhere right now here in Calgary. I'd be curious if you guys are seeing that in your local areas as well. So let me know, comment below if you've actually already seen some rents go up, or if you, even better, if you've raised the rents yourself. I'd love to know what that looks like. And then I got a special announcement. Pretty excited for this. Front Lobby, the folks over there have completely redone their membership, and with the new membership comes a new discount that they provided to our members out here at Alberta Landlord community. So take a break here. Pretty excited about that. So let's segue into let's do the discount first. If those folks are kind of curious about it, I'm going to drop it into the chat right now. But basically what they've done, let's see if this it kind of doesn't show the best, but that's okay. So they've got a new, it's an annual membership, if I remember correctly here. You get a $15 credit on your account when you sign up with the premium membership. And the recent changes include 20 free leases for rent reporting to the credit bureau. So meaning that every time you guys sign up a new lease, you can report that to Equifax, or not Equifax, sorry, Landlord Credit Bureau, which then reports in turn with Equifax. And why this is so important is that this gives your tenants the ability to increase their credit score if they are paying rent on time. And of course, on the flip side, if these tenants have ill intent, perhaps are looking to move in and not pay rent, this will damage their credit score. And this is a super powerful tool that we've only really had as landlords in the last, I'd say, 3 to 4 years, when, it was at that time tenant verification services, but now Front Lobby came out with this as these are the same kind of tools that banks and car dealerships and anyone else doing financial loans for large or expensive assets had before, but we've never had them as landlords. And on top of that, why I like it so much is part of my due diligence. So when I go and screen tenants and they come and sign my lease package, when I'm at that step of doing all the paperwork, this is one of the things they have to sign and understand, that they have to commit to having their rent reported to the credit bureau. And if this tenant does not decide to do that, then I don't rent to them. And it's a very great filter to do it up front. It honestly, I have not seen a legitimate reason for the 4 or 5 years I've been using it now for a tenant not to sign up to have their credit reported when they pay rent. And why not? Most tenants would want this because it's the largest monthly payment they have. Why not get credit for paying that on time? So yeah. Hey, Corey, right on. Go Flames go. I'm making a small guess that she's watching from Calgary. And I do know that she is, in fact, from Calgary. Right on. Love it. So excited for that. So obviously, I'm doing the show now early at an unusual time of 4 o'clock, not 8 o'clock, because I will probably be busy like the rest of Alberta, most of us anyways, watching this awesome game. So excited for it. And yeah, so let's segue. Oh, I got so excited. Let me finish my little plug here for Front Lobby. Also, they have $9.99 credit reports. So I haven't seen these yet. I will do a review and then compare that to Single Key and Neighborly, because we have promos or discounts for each of these providers. I will do a comparison. That's on the roadmap coming up, and a special place on their product at the Collect product at $9.99. So this part's pretty key too. So this is the cost. Let's say you have outstanding debts. Instead of going through the traditional model of collections, which, by the way, Front Lobby and Landlord Credit Bureau are not a collection agency. They are a credit reporting bureau. This fee you would pay will give you the ability to actually register a trade line for debts and amounts owing by the tenant on their credit score. It's a pretty powerful tool. I have seen now, probably a dozen stories of landlords right now over the last 18 months to 2 years since we've had our promotion set up with Front Lobby, where they've registered a trade line against a tenant. And the fastest I've heard it turn around was in less than a day. They had a call the next day by a tenant who was owed rent for a landlord. The tenant was, I want to say they're like a geologist or some sort of technologist that belonged to a professional accredited association. They could not renew their accreditation because they had this outstanding debt. I'm not quite sure how that connection works, but probably depends on the association in question. But anyways, they couldn't renew their professional standing. And I tell you what, they called that landlord ASAP, had that money transferred over so they could move on with their life. But also at the same time, if this person's going to go, and this new tenant was going to go and apply for, say, a truck loan or a loan for a new vehicle, or perhaps a mortgage or any financial product or credit card, really. And this will stick on the record for years to come. So even if they're kind of, I don't want to use the word deadbeat, but not paying their rent today, and you don't see a prospect of ever getting money out of this person, you never know. People do change over time. You might be getting a check in the mail or an email asking to settle in a distant future. So I think it's a very powerful product. It's built for landlords. It works quite well. I think it also is a very pragmatic solution for both tenants and landlords that has benefits for both sides. So it's pretty cool stuff. Okay, that's enough of that. That's Front Lobby. That promo code too, I should probably just paste out there one more time. You use it at frontlobby.com. It's a special code that will give you that discount. Here it is, popping it up. We'll leave that on the screen. It's Alberta ABLL 15. So very cool. Okay, let's segue. As I mentioned, there will be a market update coming in the works. I want to do in the middle of this year, so it will be in June next month. And just things we'll probably talk about. We have this fuel tax relief right now. What does that mean for the cost of living and actually enticing people moving to Alberta? Because now we are the cheapest place across the country to fill up your vehicle right now. We have a discussion on the federal Liberals and the NDP's pact to keep power until, 2023. So what does that mean from a policy perspective? We'll talk about the Fed's immigration plan that they've had in effect now for, I think they announced it really the next kind of 4 years, back in 2019 or 2018. So they're already 1 or 2 years into it, and how they're setting near record level immigration of bringing in new people into Canada. And I'll say that's a good thing when they needed somewhere to stay, and we're rental home providers or landlords. So we can kind of talk about that too. So these are more macro level numbers. And of course, probably the biggest story of this year so far, and probably to the end this year, is the Russia's war on Ukraine, and what that means for our biggest export being Alberta, the energy sector, and what that looks like going forward. I think these are all good conversation to have. I think it will probably provide a lot of what would be the word for it, calmness or peace, as you kind of read between the lines and where this market's going, because you always see the headlines, oh, interest rates are going up. People are talking 5-6% interest rates or higher. We can talk about that as well, but interest rates, and then like, oh yeah, we're in a housing bubble, the market's going to crash, prices are going down. There's more to it, and it's not quite that simple, which is a good thing. So yeah, other than that, let me just share my screen quickly. Let's talk about the economic impact of the playoffs, which of course I'm thrilled about. So I got a couple articles here. Let me see if I've done this right. We'll drop that away. I am a one-man show, so please bear with me. Let's do that. Yeah, that looks better. Okay, cool. So this is from June 2017, and it's actually talking about the Nashville Predators. They estimated right here, right in the headline, a $50 million economic impact due to the playoff run that they had. So that's pretty cool. I can't remember how far they went through in this playoff run. Let's see if it says here anywhere. But absolutely massive. So this is obviously in the States. It's obviously in Nashville. So not a direct comparison, but it does give us a good benchmark of what these numbers might look like with this new playoff series coming into play. And also we got to keep in mind that both Edmonton and Calgary have already, obviously, we're meeting the second round today. We have already got 2 rounds of economic impact. So really, when this whole playoff run's done for the province of Alberta, not just for both the cities, Calgary and Edmonton, we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, at least 5 playoff rounds of impact. And I grabbed another article here. This one is actually one from CTV News. It's back based on the playoff run. Was it 2015? No, 2017 is the article, but they're referencing some 2015 stats right here. It says, data collected during the 2015 NHL playoffs showed Calgary Flames spent a staggering 19% more year over year at Calgary bars, pubs, and people ate out, spending 9% more at Calgary restaurants. So you can imagine we're coming out of this pandemic, this marathon of the pandemic, where restaurants have been closing, unfortunately, left, right, and center. It's impacted a lot of folks, a lot of entrepreneurs and people in the service industry. So this is huge. This is honestly the best case scenario we could have ever gotten from this playoff run. So that's huge. I kind of want to talk about that. Obviously, they're going to be taking on more shifts. They mentioned as well in here somewhere that they had more shifts for their staff. I was actually personally at the game on Sunday, Game 7, and watched that overtime win. It was pretty cool. I mean, a little side tidbit, I also worked as an usher for the Flames during the 03-04 playoff run, and I was at every game. And it was pretty cool to see us getting back to that kind of atmosphere and excitement and really magnitude. But my point to the story on Sunday is my wife and I went down early. We went to the Red Lot, enjoyed that. They have vendors out right now working that. There's security working that. There's a lot more jobs there being employed. People are spending money at this. It's basically a giant beer gardens, but they're paying same prices that you'd pay for beer inside the Saddle Dome and merchandise and all that stuff. It's priced no differently. So you've got that kind of happening right now. And that's an additional, I don't know what the capacity of the Red Lot is, but it's got to be in the thousands, whether it's 3,000 or 4,000 people sitting out in that parking lot, but it'd be pretty big. But you got to think about transportation, Uber, taxis. They're going to be a lot more busy now for all these playoff runs. All the restaurants and bars that we've already talked about, they're going to have more people spending bigger tabs with tips, going back to those service staff working hard to earn that service. And then, of course, liquor stores and grocery stores people will be stocking up, having friends over, watching the game. So that's all awesome impact. It's going to be in the millions for sure. And I think probably what makes it extra special is this is our first Battle of Alberta since 1992. Yeah, 1992. And it's just, that's cool. That's super, super cool. So whether you're a Calgary Flames fan or an Edmonton Oilers fan, you can't deny that the positive impact of this playoff run is going to bode well for our economies as we go over here in Q2 and just help people have a little bit more money in the pocket. And they're going to probably spend a bit more too, but it's good for the economy as a general, and it's a great thing. And why not talk about that? So that's kind of it, folks. I would be curious. Again, I did mention at the beginning of the show, if you have seen rents going up, I am renewing a lease right now, and I am looking, and probably I'm seeing a 10% increase in rent. So I'll be happy to share that when that takes place here pretty shortly. So without further ado, I've gone a little bit long here. Enjoy the game tonight. There is no shop talk tonight at 8 o'clock. And folks, we'll see you guys next week. Take care and have a good one.